if there's a God out there, we know one thing about him. This God loves variety. God loves variety. Look at how he's created this earth. There is not two leaves the same on this earth. There is not two, like all of the water that's an ocean or a puddle or a stream, or it can be a waterfall, like that amount of variety, that there's all these different people on earth, even that no one has the same fingerprint. Like, that's beautiful. That's amazing to me, to feel like variety is something that God really values. And who are we to like look at someone else that's different from us and be like, oh, no, that's not the right way. This isn't the right, this is the way to do it. And this is the way. It's like, no, we judge every type of people, every type of religion, their fashion, the way they appear, whatever. And it's like, that's really strange to me, because we should be celebrating variety. We should be celebrating these people who look different than us, act different than us, believe different than us. Like, that should be celebrated. And in God's name, it is. We would never look at God's creations like, oh, look at that waterfall and it's loud and it's splashing on me and it's this and this. It's like, no, you would never look at a waterfall and shame it and be like, oh, but the pond is better. We can have a preference to sit at the pond, yes. If you like still water and the pond is better because it's not loud and it's not splashing at you, then go be still with the ducks. That's great. But we're not making fun of the waterfall. We're not shaming the waterfall. We don't make it bad. And like, that's God's creation, just like how we are made in God's image. We are God's creation. We are able to be as variety driven as we want and as we deserve to be. And so it's hard in this world where it's like, oh, the perfection of like, everybody wants to look a certain way. Everybody has to act a certain way. And the weird narratives with religion or gender roles or just cultural stuff that's built up over time that like really can mute us and water us down and put us in a box. I actually read a really, really cool book called Untamed. And the beginning is all about how she's at the zoo and there's this cheetah. And this cheetah is being fed these steaks. And at the beginning, they get to ask questions like, how does the cheetah like to live here? And she's like, well, she loves it because she doesn't know the Savannah Desert. She doesn't know the difference. She doesn't know what's on the other side of the fence. And so she loves it. This is all she's ever known. And she feels loved here. She gets food. She obeys so well. All of this. So the zookeeper is informing that like this cheetah loves it. And here this woman is sitting, watching this cheetah pace the gate, pace the fence. On the other side of the fence is its true habitat, where it's able to hunt its food, where it's able to get to prey on animals and to have its savage-like instincts to hunt down food for itself, not just be thrown a steak. You know, and it's like, oh, she doesn't know the difference, but it's like this animal has wild curiosity. This animal is just pacing the fence. Like, what would it be like if there was no boundary? If there was no gate here or fence here? Like, what could become of this wild animal when it's really known its habitat to be a hunter and to do the things that's natural for it? And I just thought that was such a beautiful example of growing up in a high demand religion as a woman. Here I am, this cheetah that's just, I don't know the difference. I don't know what my habitat is. I don't know what's on the other side of that fence. And everyone's too afraid and shamed to explore that and to try something new. And the courage to even begin again of what could happen when you jump over the fence, that's a whole new atmosphere. That's a whole new habitat. That is the great unknown. And it's kind of like ignorance is bliss. And I just remember being an active Mormon and that amount of ignorance that I just craved. Like, the more I educated about the world, the more I was like, oh, no, I don't want to read this book. I don't want to feel this. I don't want to, like, I was so scared all the time and so nervous. And I had the hardest time for myself being like, what's even real? Like, I don't know if this is my shame talking or if this is my religion or if these are my own thoughts, or if these are the thoughts from the adversary or the devil, you know, like you think you're being trapped and the devil's got you, and you know. So it was a really hard and scary time to have these natural curiosities come up in me and be like, I'm in this world, but what could possibly be if I wasn't? And I think that, I know this is kind of like a older movie that came out, but the Barbie movie, actually it's pretty new, but the Barbie movie was a great example of this philosophy to me, because when you are born like Barbie, where everything is magical and beautiful and mystical, and you are able to have that perfectness, but yet they're craving variety. Like, she didn't know how to respond when her feet were flat and thinking that that was ugly and that was wrong. It's almost like thinking that my little hooded eyelids are wrong, thinking that my nose is wrong, like making parts of us wrong. It's like, yeah, the flat feet, that seems so silly, but like we do that all the time as women. We make so much wrong about us and our image and our body shape and whatever, to be like, oh, we were born in Utah where plastic surgery is the highest and where people really value beauty, and this is the culture that we were born into, and it's hard to fight against. Like, I even feel that too, where it's like, oh yeah, I don't know if I'm a victim of the beauty industry or if this is just my inner, like, most thing that I love. Like, I love it. I love my hair extensions. I love to do makeup. And I don't know if I was born in India or in a different Barbie world, wherever my Barbie world was, I'm like, I might have actually not enjoyed the things I enjoy, not have the same interests, not have the same, like, everything about growing up in Utah with competing with the Joneses. It's a really unique thing to, like, question. Okay, I'll be back after this eyeliner. I cannot do this on the camera. Okay, got this eyeliner on. I love to do like an intense wing eyeliner. It's always been my favorite, especially with how hooded my eyelids are. Anyways, but going back to the concept of wherever you're born is your reality. And it's just like the reality of the Barbie felt so crazy and so different, but it's like, think of ours, like we think people live in, you know, Muslim religions, or that's so crazy, or this is so different, or that's so wild, or thinking of the Hindus in India and how different your life would be wherever your upbringing is, and just kind of accepting the culture you were born into. Like, I love that I was born into this culture. Like, I love that I was even born into the Mormon church. I think that that was divinely where my soul needed to be for this life. And it's interesting going into my spiritual beliefs because it's super vulnerable, but like, I believe in reincarnation. I believe my soul has gone through so many different experiences. And when I say variety, I mean variety of experiences. Like, my soul has been in a black male's body. It's been in a woman's body. It's been like, my soul can get the body it gets. And I don't think our souls have a gender. And so I really do like to like look at it that way. Because all spiritual beliefs are is just like grab to something that gives you the most personal power, the most inner peace. To me, it actually makes me feel really powerful to think that my soul has experienced variety. That helps me to have radical compassion on people different than me. Like, being a black male in America and knowing the like trials that can come with that. I don't know that, as I've been born in a white body that's a beautiful female. I have pretty girl privilege in this life, but I know in my next life I won't. You know? So it's like, you're gonna get the body you get, and you're gonna have the culture and the life and the world you get. And it's like, what can you gain from this tiny fragment of time? This is the tiniest like amount of time. And it's really interesting to me to like have that broad perspective because it helps my spiritual beliefs a lot. I'm gonna get my lashes on, I'll be back. But kind of the point of this story is when we're grabbing to spiritual beliefs, okay, especially out of Mormonism, it can feel like, okay, my whole belief system was built on what a 14-year-old saw in the woods. you're gonna have some batshit beliefs after that. Like you could literally grab to anything and it could be like, oh, that was so like profound, and you know, anything. It's just like we're so freaking gullible after that amount of like gullibility to even believe in like Joseph Smith. And so for me, I'm like, what gives you the most personal power? What's giving you the highest amount of like peace in your heart and giving you the most self-love and self-trust, where you can trust your gut and your instinct? And like, why are we grabbing to like paying an organization 10% of our income? Like, why are we, you know, like there's so many things about religion that's like, does this even serve me? And that was hard for me to come to. But there's a lot of spiritual beliefs that I've grabbed to now that I'm like, oh, this makes me have like a broader perspective, accepting variety, loving the different parts of this human experience, confronting more of like the good, bad, and the ugly, confronting the dark corners of my soul, and being like, what even is darkness? You know, like actually asking those really deep philosophical questions to fully embrace this human experience. That helps me with my own spirituality. So, anyways, I know this was like all over the place, but think of the Barbie movie. Think of that cheetah on the other side, not in his actual, real, untamed habitat, and ponder your own life and the weird phantom rules that you have for yourself. Okay? I love you guys. Thanks for listening. Ah!